Hello friends, welcome to Dezinlife. Friends, in this series of talking about different therapeutic segment, COVID impact in the last 1 year, today we are going to talk about two such segment which have seen maximum impact. One is anti-infective and another is respiratory segment. So these two segment has seen the maximum impact when it comes to COVID in last 1 year. And why we are talking of last 1 year? Because lockdown started in the month of March. And from the March to this February, this is completing 12 months. So we are just seeing this 12-month data as compared to the previous 12-month data. What is the real impact of first 1 year of the COVID? Although still we are talking about the COVID second wave, so we do not know how much more things will be taken. But now at least certain things will be more predictive. And these two segments will talk with the help of both the data, agency data, that is AICD as well as IQVIA. So first let us have a look at anti-infective data. So as per AICD, anti-infective segment was 9,400 crore 1 year back, that is February 2020, and which was growing by 9.9%, you can say close to 10%. In last 1 year, this has reduced to 18,657 crore and with the degrowth of 4.8% in February 2020, it's a huge loss. Something which was the biggest segment year back, now it's not only second segment, but or you can say something which was growing by close to 10%, now degrowing by close to 5% now. The huge loss now. If you assume that anti-infective segment would have grown by same 9.9% in last 1 year also, that this segment by now it would have been 21,321 crores. So this means there is a loss of 2,664 crores in the 1 year itself. And there has to be more of compounding loss because base has gone down now and the future growth will be based on this. Same data when we look at IQVIA point of view. Anti-infective segment 1 year back was 18,303 crores in February 2020 with a growth of 13.2%, and this has reduced to 16,093 crore only with a degrowth of 12% in the February 2021. So from positive growth of 13.2, we have reduced to minus 12 now. So it's a huge loss. So here also, if you simply assume for the calculation point of view, if you see anti-infective segment would have grown by same 13.2% which was growing 1 year back. So by now we would have been 20,719 crores. This means there is a loss of 4,626 crore in 1 year itself, and then compounding loss. So if you look at two data, although anti-infective one of the biggest segment, and that's why its difference is also big. AICD may be showing a loss of 2,664 crore. IQVIA showing loss of 4,626 crore. We can assume something in between, maybe 3,500 kind of thing. This means a huge loss to this segment. Being a biggest segment, big loss, and companies who are more into anti-infective, it's a really big loss to them. Now as a second part, we will be looking at last 12 months how anti-infective segment has done as compared to the IPM on monthly basis. And we will be seeing both the data, that is AICD data as well as IQVIA data, and look at last 12 months how things has panned out. So in your screen you can see both the data, and both the data you can see right from month go, you can say from the month of March itself, it starts showing a degrowth as compared to February. Because in the month of March, some company were able to bill, some company not. Some company were able to handle their transport better and some company not. So there is an impact was seen in the March 2020 also. But after March, there is a significant degrowth, and till now, this has not recovered. The way Indian pharma industry is recovering from the degrowth, it is also recovering, but it always remains, you can say, either in the negative or somewhere close to zero. But none of the month in both the data, this has crossed the IPM growth rate. So even if you look at the month of February, where AICD is showing a degrowth of 11.3% and IQVIA is showing a degrowth of 15%, degrowth of 15%. So both the data, still it is degrowing. So a big suffering as far as anti-infective is concerned. Now, one we can say the lockdown impact, obviously it was there. People were not going out, people not taking outside food. The overall infection rate has significantly reduced. New patients are not much coming because of lockdown and because of people are not going out. And otherwise we can say company was more engaged in the rural marketing, or you can say some push factor which was there, or small and mid-sized company, they are much more sufferer. When we look at company wise, bigger companies suffering in the antibiotic and mid-sized or small companies suffering in the antibiotic, this mid-sized small companies even more as compared to bigger company, because some antibiotic like azithromycin, they have grown because where there were more availability was there. Mid-sized companies availability was poor, so they are bigger sufferer as that part is concerned. New patient obviously less, overall infections are obviously less. Going forward, when we look from here, next 6 months or 8 months, because now also we are seeing the second wave of the COVID we are talking about. I do not know that how long these things are going to last, but if you look at say trend, continuously its growth is less than the industry, and most of the cases in IQVIA it continuously shows in the negative growth. So this way, next 6-8 months growth may be positive, but only because last year it was much heavy degrowth because of that. But if you look at when anti-infective going to touch its old base, it may take at least 1 more year or so, but it's a huge loss to the segment per se. Lost already leadership position, can go down further. So my all these sympathies I can say with the company who are more dependent on anti-infective. Nothing more can be said as this moment, because it's a huge loss and it's going to be next few months. Next few months we can see growth, but that does not really satisfactory, because that is growth over the last year degrowth. Just before concluding anti-infective segment, one more thing I want to add is seeing the inventory level. 1 year back, inventory level as per the AIOCD of the anti-infective was 45 days, which has now after a year has increased to 52 days. This means low liquidity is still continue, which means liquidation is low, pressure of the sale is even more, and more goods are being pumped into the market. So one is growth is not good. Secondly, the pressure level, or you can say internal hygiene level, things are further deteriorating only in last 1 year. So in any case, I'm not seeing any positive side in the anti-infective segment. Maybe we can say it may start growing by next month because of last year degrowth, nothing otherwise. So it's a bad situation for anti-infective. The another segment we are going to talk about today is respiratory. This another pathetic situation, but it's a different kind of situation, and very interesting also. In the respiratory segment, when you look at say AIOCD data, 1 year back it was 10,770 crores in the February 2020 with a growth of 11.5%, healthy growth. And in last 1 year this is reduced to 10,285 crores and with a degrowth of 5.4%, which means one side growth was 11.5 and this side it's a degrowth of 5.4, significant change by February 2021. If respiratory segment we would have grown by same 11.5% it was growing 1 year back, by now we would have reached little more than 12,000 crores. This means industry has lost almost 1,724 crores in this segment last 1 year. It's a huge growth in this 1 year itself plus compounding growth years to come. Same way, if we look at data as per the IQVIA point of view, respiratory segment was 12,106 crore in February 2020, 1 year back, and it was growing by 12.6%. 1 year later, that is now in February 2021, it has reduced to 11,455 crores and with a degrowth of 5.2%. So again, you look at say one side there is growth of 12.6 and this side it's a degrowth of 5.2% in May 2021. If we assume that this data also would have grown by same growth of 12.6%, so by now we would have been 13,631 crores. This means a loss of 2,176 crores plus compounding loss. So one AICD showing a loss of 1,724 crores. This way 2,176 crores. So you can assume approximately say around 2,000 crore loss in last 1 year plus compounding loss, because still things are not rosy. Still this problem is more and it's continued to be more. When the respiratory segment we compare, we see last 12 month of progress growth point of view as compared to Indian pharmaceutical market growth in both the data IQVIA as well as AIOCD data. The interesting fact is that when the COVID started in the month of March, there was high purchase of respiratory product because initially it was assumed it is more of respiratory disease. So moment lockdown was declared, moment something was happening regarding COVID, people start buying more and more respiratory product. So there is a huge growth in the month of March, 26% in IQVIA and 23% in AIOCD. And then suddenly in the month of April, once people start realizing it is no more respiratory, this segment start degrowing. And then another couple of months it was struggling something around IPM, and once after the June, once picture become clear that it is not respiratory disease and everybody has to put up the mask which is mandatory, to July onward there is a massive degrowth in both the agency data you can see, and both the data show very similarity. And July onward there is a degrowth and degrowth only, and this degrowth in last, if you look at say 5 months, it is degrowth is increasing and there is no, you can say, sign of any kind of recovery. This is something called butterfly effect. Butterfly effect is that when there is some minor impact and lead to the bigger impact in somewhere, and this is the butterfly where one minor impact of putting up the mask, this growth of the respiratory segment is significantly reduced. Now mask is going to continue, although right now we are talking about the second wave of COVID, but even if I assume down the line 3 months, 4 months, the COVID will not be there or COVID will be minimal, will be there, but even then many people will be putting up the mask at this crowded place. So mask is not going to go away in next several months or maybe few years, at least crowded place. And as long as mask will be there will be significant impact on the respiratory disease. So next few year also I see the respiratory not going up. So if you look at say graph point of view, one is lockdown effect is visible, initial gain we have seen why it was there, and now the butterfly effect, and this is going to continue. So companies who are dealing with the respiratory disease, I will say they need to rethink about their product portfolio. Last 1 year the degrowth or loss is significant, and next couple of years again I see the loss to them. I don't see much significant recovery. Maybe down the line 6 months you will start showing growth because of over the last year, but that is not something great sign, because your value wise, what value it was there 1 year back and what value, what kind of growth it was growing, both the things matching will take next couple of years. So companies need to rethink about their product portfolio, looking into mask impact, looking into COVID impact, and looking into, you can say, butterfly effect in the pharmaceutical. So I hope this analysis will be useful to the companies who are dealing with the respiratory as well as the anti-infective segment. Thank you very much for watching us today.